Hey, I'm Chris Troy, host of St. Clair County RISA's Moment in History, and I'm here at the Seaway Terminal in Port Huron on the deck of the U.S. Coast Guard cutter, the Bramble. Now, this craft was built in Duluth, Minnesota on August 2nd, 1943. In over just 2 months, the shipyard workers had the hull almost completed for her launch in October. The Bramble and her sister ships set milestones in labor history due to the fact that the Duluth workforce of men went off to fight World War II, leaving the American women to continue building the ships. This would be a true turning point in American history, for it was the first time that women began to enter the industrial workforce. Now, in spring of 1945, she departed the Great Lakes to go on her first home port, San Pedro, California. Later that year, the Bramble was transferred to Juneau, Alaska, to perform aid and navigational duties around the Aleutian Islands. The Coast Guard cutter's Bramble, spar and stores, was also selected to attempt a forced passage along the northern shore of the Canada line to the Atlantic Ocean. Preparations for this difficult voyage included fitting the Bramble with a stainless steel propeller and strengthening her bow to withstand tremendous pressures created by the Arctic ice pack. On 24th of May, 1957, the Bramble departed for a historic adventure en route to Seattle, Washington via the Panama Canal. On July 1st, 1957, the task force departed Seattle to the Atlantic via the Bering Straits and the Arctic Ocean. These ships traveled through 4,500 nautical miles of semi-chartered water in 64 days to recross the Arctic Circle into the Atlantic. The success of the mission distinguished the three cutters as the first American surface ships to circumvent the North America continent. In 1962, the Bramble was transferred to Detroit to perform missions of aid in navigation, search and rescue, icebreaking, and law enforcement throughout the Great Lakes. In 1974, the Bramble completed a major renovation, an overhauling of which her engines were removed and rebuilt, along with her sleeping quarters expanded and modernized. At this time, the new hydraulic boom was also installed. Upon completion of her major renovation in September 1975, the Bramble reported to Port Huron for duty. While in Port Huron, the Bramble also was involved in some unique missions. She frequently served as the patrol command boat for the Port Huron-Mackinac sailboat race and set buoys for the International Freedom Fest on the Detroit River. On May 22, 2003, the Bramble was decommissioned. Her replacement was the Juniper-class cutter, the Hollyhock. The Bramble is now a museum ship and is owned by the Port Huron Museum. On October 8, 2012, the Michigan State Historic Preservation Office released a press issue. Bramble was now registered as one of Michigan's historic places. For Moment in History Extra, hey, I'm Chris Troy, reminding you all that history lives in all of us.